Hello, I'm going to introduce you to the Product Design A-Level that we run here at the Downs School. Okay, I'm going to start by introducing you to the members of the Design and Technology team. So we have a range of specialists within the department. We have 4 members of staff who teach all the different areas within Design and Technology. So I've got myself, who's Mrs. Edwards, so I'm the head of department. We've got Mr. Robertson, who's a resistant material specialist. We've got Miss Burdett, who specialises in textiles. Mrs. Jones, who specialises in food preparation and nutrition. Mr. Armstrong, who is the technician supporting the resistant materials area, and Miss Kibby Hunter's technician who supports the textiles and food areas. Now, the A level in product design would be taught by myself, so Miss Edwards, and Mr. Robertson. Okay, next I'm going to take you through the facilities that we have within the Design and Technology department. So as previously mentioned, we have a textiles area or a specialist textiles teacher. So we've got the classroom that is laid out for whole teaching groups of Key Stage 3 and 4. We have a brand new food preparation, nutrition teaching room. So that's the recent investments that we had within the last couple of months. And then we have 2 resistant materials workshops. So these are teaching classrooms for myself and Mr. Robertson, who are the main teachers down there. And we have a machine workshop that's situated between those 2 classrooms. Now, the layout and the facilities we have in the school is ideal because it means that even though we may be teaching in the 2 workshops, because we've got the machine workshop in the middle, it means that sixth form students in their free periods have access to that workshop at any time. So they can come in and use the facilities. They've been fully trained for health and safety wise, and we have the technician who's available to be supportive down there, even if the teachers are actively teaching other classes at the time. Okay, I'm now going to focus on the question here is why should you study product design? Okay, what will you get out of studying product design at A level? Now, there's a range of different reasons why you would probably want to select that. Okay, first of all, obviously, if you enjoyed studying design and technology at GCSE, the A level is a similar format, just at a much greater depth. So if you enjoyed doing the practical work, doing the coursework, understanding more about the materials, processes, how it all works together, it's the same thing, but in a lot more detail. And also the product that you manage to do for your coursework, okay, you get to choose what your context is that you're working on this time. So it's far more exciting, and it just allows you to really focus on what your main areas of interest are. Next bit is if you achieved a grade 5 or above in maths, okay, that should support your studies here. So you need to get that qualification to start off with at GCSE, because the A level is about 25% maths based when we're looking at the theory side of things. So you need to make sure you have that firm understanding of maths to be able to sort of help you move forward in this and excel in the theory side of the subject. Next we have, if you're looking to add a complementary A level, okay, to art, sciences, maths or IT areas, this is very good. So there's lots of crossovers between those subjects, and then there's learnings that you have in both that just helps reinforce things that you've learnt in class and you've tried out in class. Another reason for why you should look at studying product design is if you have a general curiosity for understanding the influences on design and technology. So understanding how changes in materials have had an impact on design and technology, influences in the marketplace, different manufacturing techniques that have been developed. There's loads of things that are being developed all the time that have an impact on how products are designed, manufactured and used. Okay. Another reason for why you should look at studying product design is if you enjoy basically designing and making. If you really enjoy doing that at GCSE, it gives you more of a chance to explore it in the same level. It's still 50% theory like it was at GCSE, so it's the same percentage splits to what you've been used to, but it just allows you far more freedom really to just do the designing and making. And the last reason is if you're looking to follow a design-based career. So there's so many design-based careers out there, and having the knowledge of design and technology, especially because half of it is based on theory, gives you such a foundation to be able to move forward in further education as at university, whether you're going to do apprenticeships or going straight into the workplace. It gives you such a great start. Okay, I'm now going to take you through what you will cover as part of the Product Design A level at the Downs School. So we follow the AQA exam board, which is the same exam board as we study at GCSE, okay, in which that 50% of the qualification is assessed by exams and the other 50% by coursework. So if we look at the 50% exam based first, that consists of 2 exam papers. So you've got the technical principles paper and the designing and making principles paper. We cover the material within this by, in year 12 and year 13, is structured with regular theory-based lessons, okay, and that specifically address the exam theory part of the qualification. So those theory lessons will involve practical applications of materials, will involve research tasks, and it just allows you to properly explore it. And we do regular recall testing all the way through so that students get a chance to under exam conditions, make sure that they're learning all the way through, so that they've got a wealth of knowledge that they just need to remember when it comes to exam time. Now, the second part of the qualification, so that's the 50%, that's coursework based, that consists of an assessed substantial design and make project. So this is very similar to how you study at GCSE. It's much bigger, much more in depth. Okay, so year 12 starts with a range of projects. From graphics, resistant materials, and CAD/CAM, so computer-aided design and computer-aided manufacture projects, which adds, just a huge range of skills that's going to help you when it comes to doing your coursework. Okay, and these projects cover the practical applications of technical designing and making principles, which helps you with the coursework, and it also helps with the exam theory side of things as well. So on the coursework, okay, you start that in term 3 of year 12, and that finishes in year 13. So most of year 13 is taken up doing the coursework, and alongside we do the recall testing for the theory. So we cover both of those at the same time. So I'm continuing with what you're going to be covering the product design A-level. Got an overview of projects here, which we study all the way through the down school. So this is to help students who are continuing at the school to understand how we've got a seamless learning journey from year 7 all the way to year 13, in which the projects that you study have been carefully selected to allow you to develop the skills that'll take you through to GCSE, and then you'll be developing those and building on those even more at A-level. So you can see the projects that we have, they have a mixture of different materials, so you learn about the materials properties, you learn how to handle those materials, how to manufacture those materials, how to finish everything off to a high standard. You get to explore different manufacturing processes, and you get to develop your designing skills, your research and designing skills. Now, moving on to A-level, when we look at the skills there, it's always done to a much greater depth. There's much more equipment that we have within the workshop that requires one-to-one support that we just can't do in the lower school, but you guys at A-level get a chance to experiment with that. So it's really exciting, the kind of projects that we do at this point. Now, there's 2 members of staff, as I mentioned before, that teach this. It's great because we have 8 lessons a fortnight, so 4 lessons a week in which you study this, and it's split equally between the 2 members of staff. So we get to study, so you guys get to study 2 different projects in parallel, and in just combining those skills, that helps you sort of learn very quickly, and you get the best of sort of having access to both workshops and the machine workshop in the middle, and the facilities that we have throughout the department. So year 12 is sequenced to start with a recap of processes and theory that was learnt at GCSE. So if you are coming new to the school, you're not going to be at any disadvantage here, because we'll make sure at the beginning of the course that everybody's brought up to speed and we're all starting from the same place as we move, so we can move forward together. So we're now going to hear from one of our current students who's in year 13 studying the product design course at the Down School.
From kind of year 9 and year 10, I've always kind of enjoyed being quite a practical person, kind of putting a piece of wood together or designing something and sketching, and it's just always really appealed to me. And then throughout the Downs, I've always kind of felt invited to either come in, talk to my teachers, show them what I've done at home, or maybe ideas that I've come up with. I think that the Down School offers great facilities here. You're able to kind of do practical work and design and CAD work, say kind of computer work, where you're drawing up on either Google SketchUp or 2D TechSoft, and it feels like it's like a warm environment to kind of come into and to be around, really, and yeah, it makes it enjoyable and kind of good to be here. I suppose throughout lockdown for everyone was a tricky time. However, with the design and technology department, we always felt included, that we could always talk to our teachers. I mean, twice a week we would have a video call or audio call on Teams, where we kind of go through work that we've done, or just like a kind of chat about next year and the future and our coursework. And
Okay, so thank you very much, much for the student who's willing to talk to you there. So he just gave you a little bit of an overview of how it feels to be studying the Design and Technology department at the Downs School. So this slide just gives you an overview of the kind of outputs that we have from our A-level students. So there's quite a few examples here of year 12 work. One of the early projects that we do is we take students into local primary school in which they have to design and facilitate focus groups. So this is a great way of sort of introducing them straight away into doing market research at a much greater depth. That's the main difference we have from GCSE to A-level, is that a lot of the project we're doing is far more client-led, it's far more guided by real life views of what people need. And because the students have to go into the primary school, they develop, as well as their design skills, it's a lot more sort of running workshops, facilitation skills. It's just really developing their confidence to be able to do something that's a little bit different. So we've had some great results from that. So that's one of the areas, just an example of what we do in the research side of the design process. We also look at the ideas and development side of the design process, in which students look at their hand drawing and communication skills. And we use a range of different CAD packages, so computer-aided design packages. We've got 2D TechSoft, we've got SketchUp, we've got SolidWorks. We do quite a bit of work on SolidWorks at this stage, just so it's using a package that's used in industry. And it allows students to experiment, really just designing things in a whole different level to a much greater depth. Okay. Moving forward from that, we look at the manufacturing side. So we've got a couple of 3D printers, we've got 2 laser cutters as well, which allows students to, when they've designed things on CAD, to be able to manufacture them using sort of industry-based processes. But we also have a huge workshop where they can manufacture things by hand. So you can see with the project outputs here have used the range of processes that we have available to us in the school. And some of the photos here we have of are some of the year 13 coursework projects that have been produced as well. There's a range of different things. Some have got electronics in, some have got, some are more sort of mechanical based, and a range of materials. So this is where you totally can choose what you would like to make. You decide what the design brief is, you research around it just to show what area you need to focus on, and generally here all the students choose something that they're personally interested in, which helps drive forward their motivation for completing a project to a really good standard. Wanted to share with you the different avenues, the different professions that students have gone into once they've completed doing the product design A-level at the Downs School. So here we've got past students have entered into a range of different professions, and this is just a few of the ones that I wanted to share with you. So they've gone into engineering, so there's a range of different engineering disciplines that they've gone into. We've looked at, they've gone into architecture, education, product design and graphic design, because we cover both of those within the course. It gives a great foundation for moving forward into those. We've got civil engineering and interior designing. So those are just a couple of different examples that we have of the different professions and the different industries that students have gone into, and it's just a great foundation of giving you the understanding and the knowledge to move forward into any of those, and also in whatever different types of route that you choose to go on for your higher education, whether you choose to go down the university route, whether you choose to go into apprenticeships or straight into the workplace. This is a great foundation of knowledge and understanding that's highly respected by those in industry. Okay, so lastly, I just wanted to finish off with why I think you should study product design A-level at the Downs School. Okay, so a few bullet points here, a few key points that I've drawn out here on the slide. First of all, your teachers have years of relevant industry and teaching experience. I myself have got 15 years within industry where I designed products, I manufactured them, did factory trials, I worked with a customer, I facilitated workshops. So I've got such a range of experience over the years, and I've been able to bring that back into teaching so that when we're talking about the different types of theory, different manufacturing processes, I personally have done those myself, so I can give real life examples and really help students, produce work to a standard that that would be expected within industry. Okay. You'll have full-time access to the workshops and superb technician support. I mentioned earlier on that we have two teaching workshops within the department, and we also have a machine workshop between those two classes. So if both of the teachers, and myself and Mr. Robertson, are tied up with teaching some of the lower school, you've still got access to the machine workshop in the middle with technician support to help you if you need access to materials, to different manufacturing techniques. So at any time within your free period, you'll be able to come into the department and just really sort of explore making things and just developing your skills more. Next point is you'll benefit from recent investments in the CAD/CAM facilities. So we've just invested in a couple more 3D printers, also a new larger scale laser cutter, and there's more equipment, within each of the different workshops as well. So it's quite exciting, the fact that you'll be joining the department while all this equipment is very new, very current. Okay. You'll be able to undertake exciting and challenging theory lessons and projects. So we've got a range of different projects that we go through, and you'll be able to experience that. We enjoy personally teaching it ourselves and enjoy doing the projects, and we modify them every year. So we take the best parts about the project, we tweak them, we change a little bit. So we're always sort of modifying things so that every year, year on year, you get to benefit from the learnings that we have within the department. And I mentioned here about there've been challenging lessons. You will have to put the work in. It's something that you wanted to, if you wanted to succeed in one of these design areas, you have to put the work in to develop those knowledge and make sure that you've revised, you've gone through all the, you've followed all the assignments that we've given you within the theory side of things. But it's very rewarding if you put the work in. Here you say you'll be studying with staff who are passionate about design. They say with all the people within all the members of staff in the design and technology department, we do design outside the school, outside the teaching. So it's something that we're personally passionate about, really enjoy doing it. I think that shows when you've got the teachers that are teaching you that we can share what we do outside school within design. We can, you can see that passion when we're talking to you, and it's something that we just thoroughly enjoy. And I think that really shows to the students that it's a great profession, a great area to go into in the future. And lastly, one thing I wanted to really sort of stress here is you'll be joining a department who can equip you really to reach your full potential. Okay, so we've got a whole, we've got superb facilities, we've got a great talented sort of mix of staff, talents in lots of different areas here. We're all available to be able to help you succeed in this area if you're willing to put the effort in and really sort of focus on learning, all the areas that I shared with you. There's so many opportunities for you to really excel and reach your full potential in this subject. Okay. We look forward to hopefully seeing you in September when you will be selecting the product design A level to study here at the Downs School.